Hey everyone. My name's Izzy and this is the next Magical Magic podcast. So let's just hop into it and talk about today's subject, which is battles. Why? How? Are they good? Are they bad? Where do they belong? Are they a hit? Are they a miss? There's not a lot of them, so the last video I did, I started turning my top 20s into podcasts, and now I'm just gonna go for podcast format. Sometimes they'll be top 20s, other times they'll just be talking about an entire type. In this case, battle sieges, because every battle is a siege. And they were only ever printed in March of the Machine. So, yeah, will they ever be printed again? Let's just talk about battles. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like my content. Go down below in the doobla-doobla-doo. Just let me know what you think about battles, I guess, and what your favorite one is. But let's get into this with Invasion of Kelm. So Invasion of Kelm, or Kelm, is 2 in a red and a white for a 5 defense, I guess is what it's called. So, siege, or battle siege. So, as the siege enters, you choose an opponent to protect it. You and others can attack it. When it's defeated, exile it, then cast it transformed. When Invasion of Kelm enters the battlefield, up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+0 and gain vigilance and haste until end of turn. So, that's how the battles work, right? They have a transformation once they're destroyed. The overall concept, I guess, of these was both lore purpose and mechanic purpose, right? So, in lore, they wanted ways to depict the massive battles happening in March of the Machine, right? So they did that. They're like, oh, look, here's these giant battles. Almost all of them are invasion of a plane. Now, what this did is it gave us huge little insights into, oh, we've never been to that plane before. I hope we end up going there. That'd be so cool. And then let us see other planes, okay? The issue of this is that they're not printing more battles, and they don't have more subtypes. I dislike this. Even if you want to say that battles are fails, like they don't work, they're not great, get rid of them. They're not really used anywhere, which we'll double check as we get to them. We can check MTG top 8 to see if any of them see plays other than Commander, because this is organized based off EDH Rex popularity. But other than that, right? I think almost every set could have a battle. There's almost always some type of fight. And so instead of siege, you could just do battle conflict. And so every single set could have any of their major conflicts could be a battle. Where the battle happens based off how intense it is, that has so much defense. And then whoever the victor of the battle is, you could flip it over to show what happens after said battle. This person came out victorious. I think that would be very interesting if they started doing that with battles. I think they should be pushing them more. They're a brand new, not even a sub-card type, they're a card type. So I think they should push that more. I think it'd be simple to just toss 1 or 2 of these cards into newer sets in that guise, right? And you also get a feel for the planes with the sieges, right? So Invasion of Kelm enters the battlefield, up to 2 target creatures get +2/+0, right? So what you're doing here is you're like, yeah, this is a really fast plane, right? So the battle begins, the invasion starts, these guys are ready, they're running. They're like, don't think, just rush in, take these guys out. That's the idea. After the battle is done, boom, you get Valorous Reach Tag Team. This is a sorcery. Create 2 3/2 red and white warrior creature tokens with whenever this creature and at least one other creature token attack, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. So you get 2 of them, they both go in, they both just buff each other up. They're like, oh, we're not 3/2s anymore, actually, we're 4 3s, right? You get those. Now, they can't attack the turn of, so like a second invasion doesn't actually help you with them. Mind you, the invasions aren't even legendary. They're one-offs, right? But they're not legendary. So, like, although, like, you'll never see another invasion of Kelm. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Kelm? You're never gonna see another one of those. So, it should be legendary, but I guess they don't want to have you play a legendary and then sacrifice that one, and then you'd have to have rules like, no, it wasn't actually destroyed, even though you do have to sacrifice, so it'd get complicated. But being able to deal damage to it, you have to ask yourself, this isn't worth it in Commander, right? Even if you're running a token deck and you're like, cool, that my Commander has Vigilance and Haste all of a sudden, and so does the other guy, and they both hit you for little extra damage, like 4 extra damage there, that's not a lot. Even if you double up ETBs, most ETB doublers don't care about battles. So, that won't trigger. And then, like, okay, it flips, and then you get a sorcery. So, even, like, in a token deck, okay, cool. You get, even if you get triple the amount, right, with that one god. And all of a sudden, you have 6 3/2s that whenever they attack with a creature, and at least one other creature token attack, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. So, next turn, all 6 swing. They all become 4/3s, and then the next turn and you happen to also, you really wanted to run this card, so you're also running 1/1 counter doublers, right? So now you have, like, they get 3 times as much, so they all become 6/5s. Well, you really push to try to build Invasion of Kelm as a card. Maybe there's something to go there as a new format, like a Commander format where you all play the battles as a Commander. That could be interesting, right? And then you flip it, and with this card, you'd flip it, get the sorcery, it'd go back in your command zone, it costs 2 more. That could be interesting. I think that would be an interesting use for battles if they're never going to give us more. But the question here, on my mind, is this card used anywhere else? I can't look at it that way? That's annoying. Nope, normally you gotta click on it to be able to get there. I wonder, can we do it that way then? 1 second, guys, I'll be back. Yeah, wanting to use top 8, I'm gonna have to do the format slightly different this time. But if you can see, it was used once in Standard and once in Dual Commander back in 2023. So this card has never seen play anywhere. It's not considered good. Let's go to the next one. We're hitting right into the next here with Invasion of Xerx. So Invasion of Xerx is 2 and a... let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Nope, there we go. It's a little better. Invasion of Xerx is 2 a white and a blue for a 4 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. So, on enter, you would at least get a bounce effect off this. For 4 mana, that's a lot, though. It's really not worth it. But then you transform it, and you get Vertex Paladin, right? So this is an Angel Knight with flying, and its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. So you want to bounce your opponent's thing. So I guess, yeah, one of the things you need to sit down and remind yourself is that technically when you cast an invasion, when you cast a battle, you can remove it turn up, right? You can go, oh, look, I play this. I return your 1 flying blocker. Then I'm going to hit the battle for 4. And then it's going to flip into this big guy. So next turn, because I've got like 6 tokens here, this is a 6/6. A 7/7 with Vortex. So, like, you're running a token deck with a bunch of flyers. This card could flip and become a problem, right? It could become a problem, okay? Is it a problem, though? Like, okay, cool. You have to deal damage to flip it. So, I guess if you want to be able to swing with it turn of, you need to give it haste. And there's so much stuff. So, like, what? You give them a rotation. Or you heard a hold up burn spell? To burn it on your opponent's instep and then flip it, and then on your turn you get to go in for damage. I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Has any other format seen if this card's... No. It's used less. It's used less. Not as less as the... Yeah. Okay. So, no. This card's not great. And this is showing you the weakness of battles, right? When do you pop it? Like, you want to swing in on it, so you cast it, you destroy it, you get this cool creature that has no protection, flying, deals damage, and you want to be able to hit with it, right? Normally, you could try to give it haste, so you could try to hit with it. But even if you gave this haste on your turn after flipping it, you'd have to have an extra combat step then. That's not going to be useful. So Vortex Paladin just ends up being a waste of a, like, Invasion of Xerax. It turns out to be a bad bounce spell. With, like, some type of upside if you can pop this. But, like, in 1v1, you'd rather just deal the 4 damage to your opponent, probably. Is getting this transformed card better? Probably not. It's probably worse than that. So I honestly don't think it's worth it with this card. I think you end up with a very lackluster bounce spell with a slight upside. Again, Commander's one place where you could try to play it. Okay, cool. Let's run this. We'll play it, and then we'll pop it, and we're running tokens. So, like, this card's going to be huge, right? We've got, like, 20 tokens. It's a 21-21 once it flips. If you can then equip Greaves to it to give it hexproof, and you make a rotation around, bang, run hit, okay? But if you're doing that battle theme, you cast it, you always have a bounce spell in your command zone, and on flip, you get this cool commander that just can deal combat damage. So, I don't know, I think that's kind of fun. Up next is Invasion of Pyrulia. A green and a blue for a 4 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, scry 3, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land or double-faced card, draw a card. Okay, so now we're getting to something that I could see being fine. Okay, even if you don't flip this card, scry 3, draw isn't bad. Now, mind you, yes, maybe you can't draw, but as long as it's either a double-faced card or a land, you do get to draw it. Now, I wish the land was to put in the battlefield. That would make this card probably playable, but it's not. So yeah, if you're looking for something where you're like, okay, I'm running commander deck, I'm in blue-green, I just need a little bit more card access. Okay, cool, this has got upside, and I'm running some double-face cards in my deck, and I'm definitely running lands. That could help. What's its other side if I flip it? I gotta just deal 4 damage. Like, if your commander deals 4 damage, that's another cool thing. Like, if you're looking at, should I run this battle? Will I ever flip it? Can your commander remove it in one shot? If so, not the worst. So, Gargantuan Slabhorn as a 4/4 with Trample and Ward 2, and other transformed permanents you control have Trample and Ward 2. Okay, if you were running a transform deck, you have a reason to run this card. This card should probably be put in any transform deck. There's not a lot of them, but I think the more transform cards we get, the more chances we have. This would be pretty decent in that. You know, you get to flip it. You get to go, oh cool, not only do I have a 4/4 with Trample and Ward 2, all my creatures that are transformed have Trample and Ward 2. That could be useful. But, has it ever actually been used? That's a good question. Twice. Oh, once was here, in CDH, in Loot, the key to everything. Okay, that makes sense as a CDH card. As a CDH card, this card's not, like, you're not trying to transform it. That's not the point. The point here is that card advantage. It's that for 2 mana, you get to scry 3, go, I don't need, bottom these 2, get this card draw, this land into my hand. Or bottom these 3, I'm not even drawing, I just needed to scry. You can have the battle, I don't care. So, yeah, I could see, if double-faced cards ever become something in like Pioneer, maybe this will be good. I think they're too slow for Modern for the most part, but we'll see if they come up. I guess this card could be fine in Commander if you need that little extra card draw. The 2 for Scry 3 reveal top is fine. You don't have to flip it. Don't worry about that. Okay. Invasion of Lorwyn, the place everyone wants to go back to, and I think we're finally going back there now. So here is an expensive battle. This is an example of, like, this better be good because I'm paying 6 for it, right? 4 a black and a green for a 5 defense siege. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-elf creature an opponent controls with power X or less, where X is the number of lands you control. So for 6 mana, It's 1 card removal, and it can't touch an elf. Okay. So I guess, yeah, Lorwyn, known for elves. If you're heavy ramping, maybe this card works. But that destroy 1 card for 6. The flip better be good. The last one, fine. If I don't get to flip it, I got something good out of it. For 6 to remove 1 card, and it's limited? Okay, what do I get? Winnowing Forces. A star elf warrior whose powers and toughness is equal to the number of lands you control. There's other cards that do that. That don't have to be flipped for 5, right? Like, cool, you flip it and you get like I mean, let's say you're a landfall deck. You get a 10/10. Really? This card has had no. There's no way this card has any play. Yeah, none. This card's trash. I couldn't even think of a place to put this card. 6 mana to remove a creature. Like, okay, yeah, if you're playing a battle deck, again, it's kind of funny that you can probably just run all the battles. I probably wouldn't run this one. I mean, if you're not in a landfall deck, it's probably going to be a 7/7 if you flip it the following turn. Like, with no extra keywords. That's terrible. Yeah. This is a trash battle and shows you the downside of battles, right? So, like, it's an uncommon, and they're like, yeah, we're going to do this cool thing where, like, yep, the Phyrexians are attacking here, and this is Lorwyn's card. Cool, everyone loves Lorwyn. What's happening in Lorwyn? Oh, the elves are attacking, but they're smart enough not to attack another elf, mind you. So they're just attacking the invaders, so... But what if my opponent has an elf? Okay. And I have to be in a landfall deck to want this card. Definitely a landfall deck. So yeah, I guess if you're in a landfall deck and you really want a removal spell that's terrible in Golgari colors that have some of the best removal spells in the game, go for it. But I'd avoid it. This is another 5-drop. It's a 5-drop, so better be really good. 4 and a green for a 6 defense battle. Win Invasion of Muragonda. Muragonda. I'm gonna go with Muragonda. So it's got dinosaurs. I don't think we've ever been to Muragonda. Win Invasion of Muragonda. It's the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. It's a fight spell for 5 mana, guys. A fight spell for 5 mana. Sure, a 1/1 counter. If you're playing a 1/1 counter, I guess if you're playing Pair and Toothy, and you can put a bunch of 1/1 counters on Toothy, right? Pair's like double, and you got more doubles, and you're like, haha, 4 1/1 counters on Toothy, and it goes and removes something. Maybe then the double is worth it? Okay, and you gotta do 6 damage to it. Okay, what'd you get? 6. You get a 4/4 Ooze Primordial Plasm. Looks like a gummy bear with a screwed up arm there. Oh, and a spider. Cool. That's a Phyrexian spider. I think he's killing it or something. Yeah, he's devouring one. Cool art. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature gets +2/+2 and loses all abilities until end of turn. Yeah, because that's what I want to do, right? I want to lose my abilities just to deal 2 extra damage. Okay. There's no way this card has ever seen play outside of Commander. There's no way. Cool. Good. I was right. Nowhere. Good. It shouldn't, because it's not good. Like, 6 damage, man. Just to remove this card. That's 2 lightning bolts. And even in Commander, where are you running this? Like, that's not a token. That's a creature. No abilities. What? I mean, like, if your Commander is... Okay, 1/1 counters don't care about abilities, right? So, like, I guess if you're running... Oh, okay. Lose abilities, though. That means you lose flying. Right? Yeah. Like, you lose the ability to fly. So then your opponent has to be open, right? Like, they have to be open. And it's at the beginning of combat on your turn. Another target and loses all abilities until end of turn. I don't think you can give them abilities. I think they still lose them. loses all abilities. I think it's not all abilities he currently has. I don't know. Maybe you can make it unblockable then. But, like, I'm thinking, like, if you're running a 1/1 counter commander and you buff it with those, and then, like, okay, cool. Swing and, like, gotta flip this card, right? So you're like, okay, I can't remove someone this turn. Let's remove Invasion. Next turn, Primordial Plasm will target my commander, who's a 19/19, making it a 21/21, so I can one-shot someone. Except my commander normally has flying, and now someone has to be wide open, and no one's wide open. Yeah, no. I just... Ugh, no thank you. No thank you. Let's move on. Invasion of Olgrotha. I don't think we've been here either. I think this is like the original plane of like the vampires, or one of them. One of the places that was like... I think this is the place that was like invaded by vampires at one point. Let's see. 4 and a black. Again, 5 mana. Better be good. 5 battle, or 5 defense battle. When Invasion of Olgrotha enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any other target and you gain 3 life. Okay. That removes a lot of creatures. Don't kid yourself. A lot of creatures nowadays that people play are like 3 or less toughness. So you can remove a lot of creatures with this. Gaining 3 life means nothing. I mean, if you've got life doublers, then maybe, but honestly, like, I get the flavors there, right? Vampires drain, but are we getting something? Can I flip this card and get something good out of it? Grandmother Riva Singer. Okay, here's my thing. I wish these cards were legal to play as legendary commanders. I think then they would be usable. But Grandmother Riva Singer is a 3/3 human wizard with flying. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Grandmother Riva Singer and gain 1 life. I do enjoy a good apocalypse. Okay. That's kind of cool. Like, I like the flavor here. I like the legendary creature flip ones, but I also hate them because they're not legal in Commander as a commander. I'd tell you you can. I think go for it. If you want to run Invasion of Olgrotha as your commander because it's got a legendary creature on the back of it, I'm fine with that. Go ahead and play it for 5 mana, pop something, run your deck so you can deal 5 damage to Invasion, and just go, boom, here's my grandmother. Here's my legendary. It's hidden, right? It's hiding behind this battle that I have to finish. I think that would be fantastic, okay? Yeah, that's where, like, if Wizards of the Coast came out and said, hey, flip legends, any card that has a legend on the back, a legendary creature on the back of it, can be a commander, I'd be like, cool. Yeah, Grandmother Riva Singer, you are Singer. Yeah, because she's a Singer vampire, although she's actually not a vampire. That's kind of cool. She's one of the few non-vampires. But yeah, like there's the famous Singer vampire. But yeah, I would like that. I would like to be able to play this commander. And again, if you like showed up to play commander with me online and you were like, yo, let's play commander, I'm running this card, I'd be like, do it. That sounds great. Let's play it. That sounds fun. You're in a mono black deck that's not going to break anything. Interesting. Let's do it. This sounds like a fun commander to build around. A hell of a lot to get around to it, but sure, why not? Oh yeah. Again, no one and their grandmother is playing this card, right? Yeah, no one. Cool. Okay. Evasion of Kamigawa. Okay, here we go. Kamigawa. 3 and a white, 3 and a blue, 3 and a blue. 3 and a blue for a 4 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Stun counters. Stun counters are so dumb. I get it because it like adds purpose to like tapping them for longer instead of just they don't untap during the opponent's untap step. It's kind of like too long and just one turn isn't good enough. So if you had a way to perforate them, it's kind of fun. But that's not good for 4. That's not good. So then the transformation better be good. Rooftop Saboteurs. 2/3 Moonfolk Ninja. Flying, when it deals combat damage to a player or battle, draw a card. Okay, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Like, I like drawing cards. Everyone likes drawing cards, right? So I guess the point here is that, like, yeah, so I guess if you can tap the card, like tap one in Commander, if you can tap the creature that's blocking you from dealing damage to this, and then take it out next turn, you have something to look forward to. You have a 2/3 flying Moonfolk Ninja that can draw you cards. And draw you cards even if you're just dealing damage to like another battle. So even in a battle deck, this has got some usage, right? 4 damage isn't too bad. If your commander's dealing 4 damage and you need a card that draws you stuff, that's not the end of the world. Is it used anywhere else? Probably not. Okay, yeah. CDH and Zerg and Ojutai and a standard deck, both back in 23. Okay. Zerg and Ojutai needs to hit, so I get it. I get the idea of, like, okay, cool, I can tap something down so that I can get in for damage. So that way I don't got to worry about this, right? My Zerg and Ojutai can deal damage. And, standard, what standard deck was running it back then? Like, I mean, it's a heavy standard card. Dimir Control, yeah, okay, that's fair. Honestly, yeah, that's where it's like, okay, if you're like not gonna win by damage, or if you are, but you're like a control deck, right? You're like, okay, the 4 damage here isn't gonna win me the game, but the 4 damage to your invasion, to my battle to get this 2/3 is not bad. Again, you want protection, because this is just easy. It dies to lightning bolt or shock, and maybe it's okay. I don't know. It's not going to be seen play anywhere else. In Commander, again, yeah, in Commander, if you're running like those blue cards that draw you cards whenever you deal damage, this gives you another flyer to do that, plus they draw you a card. And if you're running a battle deck, this isn't bad, because you draw the card either way, so I don't hate it. I don't love it, though. You just run into another issue. Again, it's showing the downside of battles in general, right? How do you run this? You're running this just to get the stun counter on something? Where is that good? Right? Like, maybe like, oh, I sideboard these in, so I have a 4-drop way to tap my opponent's creature so that I can make sure I deal damage, and then... So, no, but right, like, the point here isn't to deal damage to your opponent. I mean, I guess there's a chance that, like, okay, that one creature stops me from winning. Here's this. It's not an instant or sorcery, mind you. It's a non-creature, so it can be countered by a non-creature counterspell, but, like, instant sorcery counterspells can't be stopping it. So, cool, that's interesting, but, like, it goes, cool, let's hit the field, stun you, and then maybe you can go in for games, sometimes. But most of the time, it's like, cool, I can't win, but let's take out the invasion of Kamigawa to get Rooftop Saboteurs so I can start drawing extra cards each turn. Like 1 extra card a turn. Yeah. That is my cat making noise. I'm going to pay my cat tax. Here's my cat. Tax has been paid. Down you go. I love her, but she likes to be very annoying and knock stuff over. So, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Back. Invasion of Asgal. This is 4, or this is a black and a red for 4 defense battle. Okay, now, again, we're talking a good card. 2 mana, what does it do? When it enters the battlefield, target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker and loses life. There, okay, right there. Playable. We just reached into this is playable. We could play Invasion of Asgal to force my opponent to sacrifice a creature. Now, it's not a good against token decks, which are very popular in Commander, but it is good against non-token decks, especially if they just got their Commander out and you're like, joke's on you, you shouldn't have played your Commander, Invasion, sacrifice it. And they're like, even if they're playing a Planeswalker Commander, they're like, I gotta sacrifice that, yeah. Remember when that was a thing, when like they started pushing Planeswalker as commanders, and now they're just like, let's not really do that. No one liked them. So, but yeah, okay, let's say you do that, and then you hit this guy and flip it into Ashen Reaper, right? This is 2/1 zombie elemental with a menace, and at the beginning of your instep, put a 1/1 counter on Ashen Reaper if a permanent was put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn. Internal hatred fuels internal fire. Okay, so like, Yeah, this card's got menace. That's nice. So if you can make them sacrifice something, go in, deal the 4 damage, flip this guy, and you're running an aristocrat deck, I guess then, like, yeah, boom, 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 this guy gets big, hits someone. It's fine in an aristocrat deck with these 2 cards, because even if you don't ever flip it, it's a removal card. A lackluster early game only removal card. Well, actually, no, because it can also really screw over people who are running, like, Voltron decks. You're like, no, you gotta sacrifice a creature. I only have 1 creature, it's my commander. Yeah, I know. Well, that sucks. Yeah, we know it sucks. That's kind of why I run this card, to take care of those. And on the off chance, if I draw early, I can get rid of an early commander, an early creature, or planeswalker that's problematic, you know. It's not awful. Let's see, did anyone else run this type of card? A lot of people, see? See? Pioneer loves this, even, okay, back in the day. Back in the day, as of like last year and the year before, Grixis Mid-Range and Highlander, Modern Jund was running some of them. Pioneer, yeah, Pioneer seemed to have liked it at one point. Okay, question is, was it a main card or a side card? That's a good question. I'm not, oh yeah, a 4 of, okay. That's fine, a 4 of, yeah. If it was a 3, then you could lightning bolt. Well, you don't have lightning bolt in Pioneer, but yeah, like, I don't mind that. Even like, okay, what about this Modern Jund deck? Was it running like, was it sideboarding? It was running 1 of, okay. And I can see why like Niv Mizzet would be the one running it, because you could grab it with your Niv Mizzet trigger. Yeah. Again, the flip side doesn't matter. In 1v1, just removing, like, a problematic creature they have if they're not running a lot of creatures, because sometimes they run creatures that are hard to remove. Like, oh, it's my one, I only run 4 creatures, they're hexproof. Cool. This says I don't care. It's gone. So it's like sideboarding this in against a deck that, like, if there's a prominent deck in a 60-card format where their creature they're playing has protection in some form, Invasion gets around that. So very specific, but I can see it coming back in Pioneer, maybe in Modern in that case, but there's other ways to make them sacrifice in Modern. In Commander, it's not all the players. You run into a lot of issues with it, so yeah. Let's move on. We're going into Invasion of Eldraine. Invasion of Eldraine is 3 and a black for 4 defense, Battle Siege. When Invasion of Eldraine enters the battlefield, target opponent discards 2 cards. Okay. This card, in and out of itself, in like Standard or Pioneer, is fine. Like, forcing your opponent to discard 2 cards. They're going to discard the 2 worst cards, mind you. That's fine. Commander, not great. Even in a discard deck, forcing your opponent to discard 2 cards, it just, you don't get a lot out of it. There's better cards to do that with. But what do you get? So now we're going to try to destroy it. So we get Prickle Fairies. 2/2 Fairy. Flying, and at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 2 or fewer cards in hand, Prickle Fairies does 2 damage to them. So this is doing your classic, make sure they don't have cards in hand, okay? In Commander, that's not bad. And I'm going to defend this card in Commander for a second, okay? One of the biggest issues with discard decks and Commanders is, what do I do once they have no cards in hand? You usually have 3 options. Sometimes nowadays, a lot of times, the Commander has something for you to do if they have no card stance. Oh, if they don't discard, they lose life, right? Or you draw cards. So you get some upside for them not having cards in hands. That's good. The older Commanders didn't have that. They only triggered off your opponent discarding, so you had to give them more cards. So you became a group hub deck that allowed them to draw a bunch of cards, but then forced them to lose them all. So they would draw like 3 cards at the beginning of their turn, and then they have to discard 3 cards right afterwards, because you stack health. The triggers go on. Oh yeah, draw 3 cards, now discard 2 cards, and whenever you cast a card, you have to discard a card or you lose 5 life. So you do something like that, right? This works in that type of format, because that last one is your classic discard effects in 60 card formats, where like your goal was to just have them never have cards in hand, but you needed something to do with that, capitalize on it. And what does this do in a 60 card format? It says, hey, I'm not only going to hit you in the face because you have no cards in hand, I'm also going to deal damage to you because you don't have cards in hand, and I'm never going to let you have cards in hand because you have 2 or fewer cards in hand. You're just going to take 2 damage. So there's some usefulness in that. And yeah, like I said, Standard. Standard had like mono black control. Back in 2024 even ran this. And they ran 2 of them, right? So yeah, like if they didn't have cards in hand, this could flip, right? And then if it flipped, putting pressure on them to deal by dealing damage and then pushing for more. It was an awful. It being 4 is the problem, right? It's a little too expensive for what it's doing, and I get it. It's 4 because here's the thing. I think when they were designing these battles, they went, oh man, this has 2 sides. It has to be expensive like every other Moto card, right? Oh, this Moto card's the land card, so we're going to base it off of those, right? And those were lands, so they had to be expensive. Well, no, this card shouldn't be expensive, guys. The downside to these battles is that if I want to flip it, I'm not dealing damage to my opponent. This should be like 3. It should be 3 mana to cast it, to make them discard 2, and then I have to deal 4 damage to flip it, which is protecting them in the first place. That's what it should be, and it's the same thing. Like, I like the 2 drops. This should be, a lot of these should be 1 less, like 3, 4, 4, 5 would be, honestly, 4 would be fine there. 2, this should be 3, that should be 3. I think if you had, like, lowered it, I think people testing it just didn't realize, like, the downside is already built into the thing with a defense. You want to flip them. You should want to flip them. Okay? Next up is Invasion of Balanon. This is the elephant in Rhino world. It's cool. I don't know if we've ever been there before. 2 and a white for a 5 defense battle. When it enters the battlefield, you create a 2/2 white and blue knight creature token with vigilance. Okay. I mean, in a token deck, right? You play in a token deck, you double up the token, triple up the token, that's fine. It's not a great token, though. What do we get when we transform, though? Balanon War Anthem. An enchantment, creatures you control get +1/+1. Okay, that's fine, okay? There's other anthems that you can run that are better, that are easier to flip. But, like, if you're looking for another anthem in your mono-white weenie deck, I guess this card does it for you, right? I don't have a lot to talk about it, and it's not good enough to play another deck. Yeah. Again, that's where, like, it's 3 to make it. Yeah, if this was 2 mana to make a 2/2, people might be like, 2 for 2/2 is fine. With Vigilance? Okay. Now you're telling me that that's playable in Standard, right? Standard playable. And then you could deal 5 damage to it if you're like, I can't take out my opponent, but right now, right? Let's deal 5 damage to this and then flip it. And that'll get me to, like, I got 5 creatures. That'll get my 5 extra damage. So next turn I can take them out. Right? So there's some leeway there. But, like, even then, like, I'd rather just deal the 5 damage to my opponent. Because what if they board wipe? Or remove one of my problematic cards? Like, yeah. So, not great. Invasion of Moag is 2 green and a white for a 5 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each creature control. Okay, now we're talking. This was properly stated. 4 mana to put a 1/1 counter on each creature control. This works in Commander, okay? If you're running a Commander deck, a 1/1 counter deck, and you got all those doublers up, this card goes boom. All those creatures, including the creatures that are doubling them, are going to get like 2, 3, 1/1 counters on it. That's useful. That's a proper 4 mana card. And then on flip side, you get Bloom Wielder Dryads. 3/3 Dryad with Ward 2, and at the beginning of your instep, put a 1/1 counter on target creature control. Cool. I wish it was upkeep, but like, instep means on the flip, you get the effect right away. So on your instep, you're like, boom, buff my commander by 3, because I'm running a 1/1 counter deck, right? That's not bad. This is the first card I'm saying that I'm like, I could see this being in a 1/1 counter deck. Put it in your 1/1 counter deck. I don't think you'd regret it. I think, like, 4 mana, you're like, okay, I got 4 creatures on the field. Let's buff them all by 2. And then one of them will go in and take it out, and then I'll get this card, and then another guy will get buffed. My flyer over there will get buffed. Did anyone else think it was good? No, no one. And that's because, yeah, like, it's not great. Like, there's not a lot of 1/1 counter decks running around in 60-card formats, and not in CDH either. So it's not a competitive card, but I think in a 1/1 counter deck, you could see fit for that type of card. Next is Invasion of Kaladesh. 1. Okay, another Two drop. 2-drop means good. White and a red, a green and English. Blue and a red for a 4 battle siege. A 4 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 color stop to artifact creature token with a flying. Okay, 2 for a 1/1 flyer. That's not bad. That's a playable amount for standard. Maybe Pioneer, but probably standard. It is a Thopter. A lot of things to talk about that. That's an artifact. That's a Thopter. That's a flyer. There's a lot of things you can do about this. Now, what happens if we destroy this? Aether Wing Golden Scale Flagship is a star 4 legendary artifact vehicle. Okay, it's still an uncommon. Aetherwing it's got flying, and Aetherwing Golden Scale Flagship's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Crew 1. Okay, so your a Thopter that you made can crew this. So if you cast this, take it out, flip it, next turn, it's a legendary artifact vehicle, so it's not a creature, it's hard to remove for the most part. This is going to give you a really cool big guy. If you're running artifacts matters, like you want a bunch of artifacts, or like artifact tokens like treasure tokens or Thopters, this card could be in your deck and you could see play. Does it see play? No, never did. And I didn't think so. I didn't think it would. It doesn't do enough, right? But if you're running a deck with Is It Plus colors to just kind of like worry about artifacts, not the end of the world. You could get away with it. Next is Invasion of Dominaria. This is 2 and a white for a 5 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life and draw a card. 3 to gain 4 life and draw a card. Okay. 1v1 formats, 4 life isn't awful. I mean, yeah, you have to basically, because there's 4 opponents, you have to like... Okay, I mean, okay, let's say just half it. So it's basically like 2 life in Commander, right? But, so... I mean, yeah, it's like 8 life in Commander, right? That would be not bad in Commander, but 4 life in Commander, draw a card. It does something, right? It does something. Draw a card. I mean, white lacks drawing cards. What do you get? You get a Sarah Faithkeeper. This is just Sarah Ascendant, but with a fancy name. Sarah Faithkeeper. This is a 4/4 angel with flying and vigilance. That's fine. There's no point in flipping this card. I mean, a 4/4 angel with flying and vigilance, that doesn't do much. None, right? Oh, no. Pioneers ran it in, okay, yeah, in like Giada, I guess you flip it, and that's an angel. Standard angels. Back in 24, okay, so standard angels in 25 is run it. I don't know. Oh, maybe it was this reprinted then? No. Is March of the Machine still in standard? I didn't realize it was. I thought it was out. But 25, too, maybe just dropped out. I don't know. What are they running in this? Two, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess, like, it doesn't do nothing. It does draw you a card. Yeah, CDH would run one of them for Gyata. I didn't even realize Gyata had some CDH play stacks. Yeah, okay, just a bunch of angels. And I guess that's another angel that draws you a card for 3 mana. But back in the day, Pioneer was running it in blue-white control. That's a fair spot to put it. And 3 of. Yeah, okay, like blue-white control in a deck like this where you're like, okay, cast it, that draws me a card, gains me 4 lives, keeps me going. If I do remove it, it eventually becomes a 4/4 angel with flying and vigilance that protects me, and I can take you out slowly. Like in a slow, methodical deck. Yeah, I could see where this comes in handy then. Right, yeah. That 4 life is like useful in 1v1 formats. You're like, yeah, that's 4 more life. That means I have 24 life total, plus the draw, so it replaces itself. And then if you can remove it, it's 5. But if you could, okay. Commander-wise, yeah, like, I guess Giada makes sense, because, yeah, it does come in, so that will come in bigger in Giada, and you can choose when to do it. You can be like, okay, my 5/5 angel, because they're pretty big, comes in and just smacks this guy, right? Because they all get bigger, so, like, even, like, your 3/3 could be a 5/5. Boom, here's my 4/4 when I have, like, 5 angels, and now it's a 9/9. Right? Yeah. In Giada, I could see this being played very well. I'd put it in my Giada deck. Outside of that, I don't like it in Commander. Invasion of Viren. It's 3 and a blue for a 4 defense battle saga. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. Okay, I already like that. I enjoy that. I think for 4 mana, that is a fine ability. This just guarantees you a way to draw 3 cards, and yeah, you lose 1, and you have to play this. So that's 2 cards. You're netting 1 card here with card selection. So that's not bad. I wish it was 3. It'd be better. But at 4, okay. And let's say like you pop it, you get an artifact. Pay 1, tap it, sacrifice Overloaded Mage Ring, copy target spell you control. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. Okay, spell you control has to be in the air. So, no, I don't dislike this card. This one is genuinely just fine in any blue deck. 4 mana, I guess any casual blue deck, right? 4 mana to guarantee 3 cards in hand, 3 new cards isn't bad. And then being able to just pay 1 extra to just copy any spell you cast, I mean, that's very useful. You could go for like, oh, I'm gonna, like any big draw spell, you can be like, cool, let's draw 5 cards. Let's copy that. Let's draw 10 cards now, right? Yeah. Oh, here's my threatening, like, here, I mean, imagine like even CDH wise, like here's my Rhystic Study. Here's my second Rhystic Study. Useful, right? I think it's useful. Is it useful? No. People think it's awful. Competitively, yeah, right? Like, doesn't come down. Like, even if you rush this out turn 1, right? What is it doing? It's giving, like, if you land Soul Ring 4 mana turn 1. If you 4 mana turn 1 and you're not just casting your commander, you're not playing CDH. Right? Yeah. Casually, though, this card's fine. I think this card's a great casual CDH deck. A card. Like, or commander card. Like, if you're looking for a fun little battle siege, go ahead. Play it. I don't think it hurts. Oh, day 1 errata. The back face received an errata on release day to add a sentence letting you choose new targets. Oh, yeah. Choose new targets. Yeah. You may choose new targets for the copy. Yeah. Because it doesn't have to. Yeah, you could just copy like a burn spell or something. I think this could see play in Pioneer at some point. I think a Pioneer like control deck playing this card to get some card advantage. Faye. 1 second, guys. Faye, make a decision. There you go. She wanted to hop up there, so had to let her do so. But yeah, I think Pioneer could see this being played at some point, where like you play this and then eventually you flip it and then you get a double up of like another good non-legendary card that you want to drop. So I could see it. It's fine. Invasion of Ragathais. 2 and a red for a 5 battle siege, or 5 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, it does 4 damage to another target, battle, or opponent, and 1 damage to up to 1 target creature. Okay. This isn't bad. In a battle-centric standard or pioneer deck, this is a great way to remove a battle, right? Oh yeah, I'm running a lot of battles that are 4. I can just do this to take one of those out and flip it, and that's useful. Very useful, very handy there. Or, 4 damage to my opponent to just win the game there. And 1 damage to 1 target creature. That allows you to just take out like a small creature they're running. That's also not bad. Transform it. Disciples of the Inferno is a 4/4 human monk with prowess. If a non-creature source you control would deal damage to a creature or battle or opponent, it deals that much damage plus 2 instead. Okay, this is meant to be played like 4 of. If you play 4 of this and then you flip it, all of a sudden, like, that 4 damage is 6 damage. You have prowess, which is going to double up the creatures. Yeah, this would be good. Did it see play? Okay, it did. In Dual Commander. Oh yeah, this would be great in Dual Commander, wouldn't it? It's still seeing play in Dual Commander. Has it ever seen play outside of Dual Commander? Standard and red deck wins. That's a fair spot. The Dual Commander. Oh yeah, because when it's dealt damage, that many cards from the top of your library, choose one of them. Yeah, because you deal a 1 damage to Feldon, which gives you 1 draw off of it. Yeah, this is just like, it's only used really in dual commander. Like, yeah, like Feldon has just, yeah, it's just, because Feldon's such a great dual commander card. That's hilarious that this found, like, just an awesome home in Feldon dual commander. I love when stuff like that happens. That's what I love about... That's what I absolutely love about Commander... about Magic, right? All these different formats, and it found some love in a random dual commander deck where dealing 4 damage to your opponent in a 20 life total, because dual commander is 20, isn't awful, but 1 damage to Feldon is good, because that allows you to exile the top card of your library and maybe get another burn spell out of it to take your opponent out, right? Oh yeah, I exile the top card of my library. Cool, it's a lightning bolt. That's 7 damage to you now, right? Like, you get something out of it. I think it's interesting. I think that's interesting. The flip isn't bad. If you're running a burn deck in Commander, I think this is fine. Being able to just deal 5 damage to it with some burn spells and flip it, and then deal damage to a creature or battle or an opponent, it deals that much damage plus 2 instead. If you're running like a non-creature burn deck, you could get something out of that flip. I'd mess with it. Okay, next up is the first mythic, and this is Invasion of Ravnica. Invasion of Ravnica is 5 generic for a 4 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls that isn't exactly 2 colors. Okay, that's fine. Isn't exactly 2 colors is fine. You can hit almost anything. That's 5 mana to just exile anything. That's not awful. 5 mana to exile anything is fine. I think it should be 4, but I guess you get the upside of the flip, which is Guild Pact Paragon. A 5/5 artifact creature construct. When you cast a spell that's exactly 2 colors, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a card that's exiled that's exactly 2 colors from among them, and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of the library in random. Is this just random? Okay. What? I guess. Oh yeah, because that's a seed. It's colorless deck. Legacy ran this in 24, and Eldrazi Post. Was it a side card? No, main card. Legacy ran this? Where is it? 2 sideboard cards, okay. So I guess, yeah, against specific decks it could be useful. But it would just be used as a 5-drop to remove something, right? Like, that's all you're doing in this, like, legacy. 14 spheres. Oh, yeah, right. 14 spheres. And, yeah, just 1 sideboard card. Yeah, I guess because you can make a lot of colorless decks. Jund was using it. And... okay. Singapore, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, okay, I could, yeah, right. I'm surprised it doesn't see play, like, in the Niv Mizzet Reborn decks. Casually, that's where I think this works best. Like, if you're running a Niv Mizzet Reborn deck where you're already running a deck designed to just run 2-color cards, this card can come in, flip, and then, like, whenever you cast one of them, you can look at the top 6 and get another 2-color card out of your hand. That's where you put this card. That's about all I could think about playing it there. Maybe again, and some weird. It's too slow for modern, but maybe some weird Pioneer deck in the future will be like, oh yeah, dude, I can like totally play this in my Niv Mizzet Reborn deck. Next is Invasion of Ixalan. This is a rare, so 1 in a green. I already like that for 4. Defense Battle Siege. When Invasion of Ixalan enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a permanent card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of the library in random order. Already, right there, you got a good card. 2 mana, looking at the top 5, put a permanent in your hand. There's nothing bad about that. That's just generically a good card, and now you get upside. Deal 4 damage to it, you get a 4/3 dinosaur with trample, and whenever you cast a spell, Belligerent Regisaur gains indestructible until the turn. That's also useful, okay? Not in Commander. In Commander, don't flip this card. Just, I mean, maybe, because it's a dinosaur. So if you're running, like, Ixalan, I think that's his name. That new, it's a popular commander. The new, Naya, the newer Naya commander for with Discovery. This would work there, especially because you get to, like, look at the top 5 and put one in your hand, so you can guarantee a dinosaur that you can get. There's a lot that could go on with that. And I mean, yeah, like if you go to top 8, I guarantee you, yeah. CDH plays this in Italy, because that's a great way to get cards. Pioneer, Devotion to Green, yeah, of course. Devotion to Green would love this card. Yeah, how many do you run in Devotion to Green? Is it a sideboard or is it a main? It's a mainstay, yeah. It's a 4-drop mainstay. Because it's just that good. 2 to, like, dig 5 deep is so good. Okay? This card, okay, like, it's used in Pioneer. Let's switch. Has it ever seen 1-up? Has it ever got to Modern? Twice. In a Devotion to Green deck in Modern and an Amulet Titan deck back in 23 and 24. What about Legacy? Nah, not good enough for Legacy and maybe Vintage? There's different... Nope. Okay. Lots of CDH, a little. Nah, just some Italis. That's a fine dual commander, though. No. Okay, cool. Yeah, so overall, yeah, this is, Devotion to Green is great in Pioneer. I think it's a fun deck. If you ever want to play a fun deck in Pioneer, take a look at Devotion to Green. It's actually very interesting. But overall, this is the design that Battle should stay in. Low cost, good effects that's not broken, right? With an upside. And the upside, again, has its downside. The downside of flipping this card is you're not dealing damage to an opponent. You're dealing damage to it. Okay? That should be the downside. And I think they could really bring these cards back into the forefront. Because there's so many different fights, like battles, in Commander storyline. You could have them there and it would explain the story. And the transformation would be like, yeah, like, during this battle, boom, here's Belligerent Regisaur that's indestructible because someone cast a spell. And I think it'd be interesting. I think that's what they need to aim for nowadays, and they could bring it back. So, Invasion of... Not loading. Invasion of Urgamon. Okay, 2. Maybe it's good. Red and a green for a 5 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Then you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Okay. I don't mind this. 2 mana. So it's actually 1 mana because you get a treasure out of it. Plus you can discard a card and draw a card. So that gives you some card advantage. And what happens when you flip it? You get a 3/4 Rhino with Trample. When it enters the battlefield, you may discard a card if you do. Search your library for a land or battle card. Reveal it. Put that card in your hand and shuffle. So there's a reason to flip this card. You get a land or a battle. So if you're running battles, that's not bad. I don't mind this. Like, even if you're not planning on flipping it, because it is 5 defense, right? Just getting a treasure, like in a token deck, that's not awful. Yeah, like Tali Prime, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, Shifting Woodlands runs this card. That makes sense, right? Or has, because Shifting Woodlands is here. And having it become this, because you discard cards. Yeah, yep. And is that recent? Yeah, that's 2025. Yep. Yeah, because it gives you a reason to discard a card. Which is, yeah, I mean, 2 to... Yeah, I mean, that's technically 1 mana to draw and discard. That's really good in nowadays language, right? Yeah. Draw discard is great. Plus a treasure, so you can use the mana later. Has it ever gone past Modern? Doesn't seem like it's... It doesn't have a lot. It's only got 3. Pioneer, Omnath Ramp is fine. Okay. Mainly, yeah, Modern. And Modern has ran it in Creativity decks, yeah. Because Creativity decks, this is a 2. That just allows you to what is Creativity? What's the Creativity? Can I read it? Deals X damage. Destroy X target. Artifacts and or creatures. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controller reveals cards on the top of the library until An artifact or creature feel this way, exile that card. Those. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Creativity is all about breaking the game. Right. So you can get something good out. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Close. Right. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you can get your Archeons out because you're running non-creatures, and this is a non-creature draw discard. That's where it comes in play. Okay. But even in Commander, maybe not great. It's a little slow in Commander. The flip side's not awful though. I mean, it gets you another battle. So if you're like if you're running battles in Commander, this is a way to get one. No, I think I like in creativity decks, and that's about it. So Invasion of Karsus is 2 and 2 red for 4 defense battle siege. 1 inch of the battlefield does 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. That's fine. That's a mini board wipe. Don't mind that. That's just my notifications. Yeah. This is like, if I like these effects when your commander has like 4 or more toughness and you're just like, bye-bye. This is Planeswalkers, which is great when you happen to run up against that Planeswalker deck. Flip it. You need to deal 4. So 4/4, or you get Refraction Elemental. 4/4 Elemental, Ward, pay 2 life. Whenever you cast a spell, Refraction Elemental does 2 damage to each opponent. Oh, cast a spell? Okay, now you're talking my language. Now you're saying, okay, get this card out. Remove all their small creatures, all their small planeswalkers. My commander's still on there because it's like a 4/4. Go in, remove it. Now it comes out. Now any spell I cast, I'm dealing 2 damage to each opponent. And they have to lose life to remove it, which, I mean, they will, but... Yeah, see, Niv Mizzet Visionary ran it. Because, yeah, again, Niv Mizzet Visionary is a 5/5, so you won't lose it. Nah, the rest is, like, standard decks. Grixis Control, great. Yeah, that'd understand. Another creativity deck into the Explore format. Yeah, that makes sense as well, right? So, because, yeah, I mean, this works in creativity decks because it does just board wipe. Yeah, I like this. I like this in Commander as a casual card, just being ready to remove. Like, it's also hate on token decks. Oh, you're running a bunch of 1/1 tokens? Let's just get rid of those. No more 1/1 tokens. That's useful. I enjoy this. I think this is a great card in, like, very specific spots in Commander. Some of the cards we've talked about, you gotta think. This one is just like, my commander's got more than 4 toughness, and I'm not a huge creature deck. Yeah, put it in there. Invasion of Mercadia is 1 in a red for 4 business. No, 4 defense battle siege. When it enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Okay. It's one of those, like, classic, you lose 2, draw 2, because you're losing it. But you do keep it. It flips into Chiron Flame Rider. 3/3 Goblin Shapeshifter, Spell Shaper. 2 in a red, tap it, discard a card. Create 2 1/1 blue-red and elemental creature tokens. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. I don't mind this. If you're running a token deck, this is great. So this is like, this effect here is ran, like a lot of different instant sorceries have this effect in red, right? As an additional cost, you had to discard a card, draw 2 cards, right? So you lose 2, draw 2. Lose 2, draw 2, but if you deal the 4 damage to this, boom, you get a 3/3 that makes 2 tokens each turn. But not only does it make 2 tokens when you activate it, you also give all your small tokens +1/+0, so your 20 tokens, that's like 20 extra damage, and they have haste. So the 2 tokens you just made can attack that turn. Yeah, I would run this in a token deck. Is it ran anywhere else? Modern Jund, as of last year, ran it. Deza Restless? Yeah, okay. That's fair, because it draws discards. Goblins in Standard were fine. Red deck wins Standard. But what is Jund Modern doing with this card? Sideboarding it? No, they're main decking too. Just to draw a discard, and I don't know if you ever flip it. I mean, you could. It's 4. Tarmogoyf. Yeah, maybe you Tarmogoyf into it, and then it flips, and you get this cool guy that can start. Nah, this is ran for this effect and nothing else. That's the biggest issue with battles, is they're almost never ran for their flip side. I don't think I've ran into a single one that I could say, yeah, you run this so you can then hit it and flip it. No, you're just like, no, you run this because it's a 2-drop that does something. No, we're never going to flip it. That's not the point. Okay. Invasion of Alara is Wooburg for a 7 defense battle siege. This better be good. When Invasion of Alara enters the battlefield, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile 2 non-land cards with mana value 4 or less. You may cast one of those 2 cards without paying mana cost. Put one of them into your hand, then put the other cards exiled this way in the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, so you get 2 4-drops or less for 5 mana. One cast for free, the other into your hand. What do you get if you deal 7 damage to it? You get Awaken the Maelstrom. This is a sorcery. Awaken the Maelstrom is all colors. Target player draws 2 cards. You may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. Create a token that's a copy of a permanent you control. Distribute 3/1/1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 creatures you control. Destroy target permanent opponent controls. That's doing your classic Wooburg stuff, right? To draw 2. Target player draws 2 cards is blue. You may put an artifact from your hand on the battlefield is... Actually, I think to draw 2 cards because it says target player is white. And then put a card from your hand on the battlefield is blue. And then creature token, that would be red. And the 1/1 counters is green. And the destroy is black or something like that. They're trying, right? Its flip is good. It's good, but it's 7. I'd rather just 7 it into my opponent. I guess... If you're running Wooburg and your Wooburg commander can come out and deal 7 damage to this, I guess you can flip it. But I just cast it to get the card advantage, right? Like, and it's like whenever it enters, you can even cheat it out, maybe. Yeah, yep. Standard 5, yep, back in 2024. Oh, Cascade in Standard. It's running it now. 4th, yep, because it's expensive. So it avoids your Cascade. What are you cascading with in Cascade? What are you cascading with in this deck? No. Those are all lands. No, that's not a Cascade card. No. Okay, yeah, no, it's Discovery. Right, this guy. So when it enters the battlefield, discover 5. So you go until you hit something less than 5, which would be your up the beanstalk. Is the only thing you can hit off of that. Oh, and this. And this card hits the field, and then you can discard a card and return it to your hand. It also ramps you. Middle 7 cards, put a creature card, enchantment, or land from among them onto the battlefield. Okay. Siege avoids that, and then... Yeah, okay. I guess that, like... Yeah. And then these cards are fine because they've got their impending that you can cast them for. Okay. That's just where this sits in, like, a standard Cascade deck. I mean, standard 5 color was fine. That's where it saw so many points. But... Pioneer 5 Elementals back, kind of. Yeah, I guess, like, yeah. No. Yeah, it's fine. I think Wooburg for this effect is a fine effect, right? That gets you, like, I mean, it guarantees you 2 good cards, right? 2, like, well, not guarantees you. I mean, a non-land, so, like, it guarantees you probably ramp. For the most part, like, yeah, I'm going to get 2 ramp cards. One I'll cast right away and one that'll come into my hand. And then if you ever destroy it, you get something good out of it. Like, yeah, I mean, like, if I'd run this in my Wooburg deck. I wouldn't bat it. If I had it in my collection, I'd just be like, sure. Invasion of Innistrad is 2 and 2 black for 5 defense battle siege. Flash, when it enters the battlefield, or, yeah, when this battle enters... Oh, it was reprinted in Innistrad Remastered. Okay, that's cool. So, when it enters, destroy a target creature an opponent controls gets -13, -13. So, it just removes a creature. Transform. It's 5, but you get an enchantment. When this enchantment enters, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, 2 in a black, exile target card from a graveyard if it was a creature card, and create a 2/2 black zombie. Yeah, I guess if I was playing a commander deck, a zombie deck of my commander, like a zombie commander deck, I'd be like, sure, why not? 4 flash, I can hold up my mana, go, okay, cool, nothing else, let's remove that problematic card. Then I can deal 5 damage to it, and then it flips, and I get 2 zombies, and then I can keep going off. Oh, winter, last year, winter. Yeah, okay, she ran it. Other than that, standard was running it a year ago, back when it was, it's probably, might be still legal, I don't know. That control. Just trying to see what exactly it was used for, and like, mono black, yeah, 1 off, okay. It's fine. I guess. I like it in zombie decks, that's about it. Let's continue pushing here. Sorry, I keep clicking on the wrong tab. Don't worry. Those are just decks I've built. You'll see them later. Invasion of Arcavios is 3 and 2 red, 2 blue for a 7 defense siege. When it enters the battlefield, search your library, graveyard, and or outside the game for an instant or sorcery card you own, reveal it, and put it to your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle 5. Okay, outside of commander, being able to just put any card from your, like, any instant or sorcery from your extra deck into your hand isn't, not extra deck, sideboard isn't bad. What's 7 damage? When you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. No professors, no guides, no room for mistakes. 5 mana for a tutor. That reeks. I mean, I get it. They made it a wish because you can grab anything, but that doesn't work in Commander. No play, right? Oh, no. It has in CD8s. Okay, yeah, I guess, yeah. Oh, yeah, because Heliod makes it cheaper, right? Plus to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn. Flash, right? So if they draw a few cards, you can cast this. You can cast it for cheaper. Right? Yeah, and then cast... Oh, yeah, they've drawn 3 cards. Cool, let's cast this for 2. Now let's go tutor for a counter spell to stop them from winning. Right. Right, yeah. You're never going to transform it. Omniscience combo. It's being ran in Omniscience combo. Oh, right. Yeah, that would make sense because this gets you deeper in Omniscience combo. And Omniscience... Oh, no, that's the wrong... What the heck? Oh, no. Oh, there we go. That's why. Here we go. 2 of in an Omniscience combo. That makes sense. Because, yeah, casting this card for free isn't bad. And that just gets... Yeah, that just search you for the card you need, right? Yeah, cast this for free. Grab your... Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Commander-wise, I just... If you're not cheating with it and you're just paying 5 for it, it's not great. And the flip is good. Okay? I like the flip. So you almost have to flip it. So then, yeah, like maybe in a Niv deck, that's fine. Niv hits pretty hard. Invasion of New Phyrexia. This is the opposite. This is where, like, Teferi is all like, yeah, let's go invade them, right? Cool. Invasion of New Phyrexia is X, a white and a blue for a 6 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, create X 2/2 white and blue knight creature tokens with vigilance. That's not bad. I 2, that, yeah, you can like put like 5X and get 5 2/2s with vigilance. That's fine. Token doublers are great in that sense. And then you get Teferi on the other side. Everyone loves Teferi, right? No one has a problem with Teferi. Teferi Akosa of Zelfair is 4 loyalty, legendary planeswalker Teferi, +1, draw 2 cards, then discard a card, unless you discard a creature card. Or then discard 2 cards, unless you discard a creature card. That's fine. -2, you get an emblem with knights you control, get +1/+0, and have ward 1. Hits the field, if you can flip it right away, just boom. -3, tap X creatures you control. Then when you do, shuffle target non-land permanent opponent controls with mana value X or less into the owner's library. That's interesting. I like this in a Knights deck. If I was running a Knights, like a Knight-themed deck, I'd be all like, cool, here's my Knight Commander. Whoa, why am I running more than just red, black? Why am I not just running Mardu? Oh, it's because I wanted to be able to run Invasion of New Phyrexia, because its emblem -2 is pretty cool. Plus, I can do another -2 the following turn to get 2 emblems that give them all Ward 1, so just Ward 2, and +2/+0. Yeah, a Knight deck. That's where I'd put that. What have everyone said? Blue-white control, Vintage. Vintage runs this? In the sideboard, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you can't win, you can just get a lot of mana and just, yeah, okay. Vintage Esper control, probably sideboarded too. I know 2 of them. I guess people like it? Are you running this as a way, is there a way to just drop this? Or, I mean, you have the mana, right? Like, yeah, I guess if you just drop it, like, good luck. You're not gonna, no one runs board wipes in Vintage, right? Standard was running a blue-white control. Yeah. Do you flip it, though? Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe you don't flip it. I mean, it's been used, like, even in Dual Command King of Gondor. Yeah, King of Gondor ran it, but Heliod runs it in CDH, or has. Paradoxical Outcome. Yeah, blue-white control and Pioneer. How many in Pioneer? Just one. Maybe it's just, yeah, it's just saying, hey, like, if the game goes long, which the control deck wants to go long, casting this card for a lot of mana is pretty annoying. Like, I got my 2/2s, next turn I'm going to win. Stop me. And I've got my control, so I don't mind it. I like it. I like that it transforms. I think its transformation's pretty good, but I don't think you're ever going to transform it outside of Commander. So, I like it in Commander, though. A good Knights deck. Let's see. Invasion of Tolvada. This is 3 white and a black for a 5 defense battle siege. When into the battlefield, return target non-battle permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Non-battle permanent card. So this is, I mean, it's recursion for 5. That's the going rate. And then if you transform it, enchantment, creature tokens you control, get +1/+0 and have lifelink at the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. Okay, so if you can get something out and then, like, you knock this out, neither of these are, like, really, yeah, right, but you get something back. If you can knock this out, then just, if you're running a creature, yeah, creature token decks, I think this is great. This is a great, like, creature token deck card in Commander. Standard is running this in Squarium Emergencies. Sideboard? No, it's in the main. Where is you? Nope. That's a land. Battle. Maybe it was the sideboard. Yeah, sideboard. There you are. It's a good recursion card that can, like, slow the game down. And it was, yeah. 4 or 5 color control, mono white control. That makes sense, right? It's like, it's a fine standard card. I guess Commander could run it. It's a way to get something back, and then, like, if you pop it, your tokens get stronger. And getting 1 token each turn isn't awful. Especially in, like, Commander if you're doubling those up. So, I don't mind it. If we got more doublers, I think it'd be cool. Oh, skipped one. My bad. We're in Invasion of New Capenna. This is, oh, I'm going to like this one. Black and a white and a black for 4 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact or creature. When you do, exile target artifact or creature an opponent controls. Okay, this is fine. If you sacrifice, like, a token you control, you can just exile a creature your opponent controls. Or an artifact. That's not bad. Sorcery speed's not great. And then if you flip it, it's only 4. You get an artifact equipment. When equipped creature, Holy Frazzle Cannon. When an equipped creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. And each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. Put a equip 1. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would run this I would run this in a tribal deck. because you can just sacrifice one of your small tribes, pop it, but it also works in a token deck. You sacrifice your little, like, citizen, right? Capenna citizens. And then you swing with all your citizens, and put a 1/1 counter on this creature for each other creature. I got 10 citizens. Gets 10 1/1 counters. So this works in token decks, and it works in a tribal deck. I like it in both. Because even if you don't flip it, you removed something. You exiled something your opponent controls, which is great. So run more single target removal cards in your casual decks that do something. Not just, it just removes something and nothing else. That's boring. But it removes something, and then you can flip it and do something cool with it. So I like it there. Has it seen play anywhere else? No. I want 25. It saw play in Tesa. In 23 standard, there was a Pioneer that tried it. Yeah, no, not great. Going back. Evasion of Theros is 2 and a white for a 4 defense battle siege. When Invasion of Theros into this battlefield, search your library for an Aura, God, or Demigod card. Reveal that card, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. This card's just good in any Aura, God, or Demigod deck. And it sounds dumb, but they're popular decks for Commander to run. Literally, you just kind of like, yeah, let's just get demigods or gods and put them in the deck. And this is my Theros deck. And then, yeah, you can go grab a good aura. But this is another one that I wish I could play as a commander. Right? Ephora, Ever Sheltering is 4/4 god. A legendary enchantment creature god. It has lifelink and indestructible as long as you control at least 3 other enchantments. When another enchantment is the battlefield and you control, draw a card. If I could run this as a commander, which most people I don't think would complain, I would. I think it'd be super cool. You have a tutor in your command zone. Go grab like a really cool like protection aura. Beat it up, flip it, boom. Give this card indestructible or hexproof with your enchantment. Or like with your enchantment aura. And then, look, I've got a lot of auras or enchantments on the field, and now it's got lifelink and indestructible, which makes it hard to remove anyway, so you give it hexproof, it's even harder to remove. And now it has other enchantments you control on the battlefield, and you control, draw a card. So it has that cool Enchantress effect. So, yeah, this would be so cool as a commander. As is now, yeah, I mean, any enchantment deck that has blue, white, it just put it in there. This is great. Like, you're probably running a god in your Enchantress deck. Do it, grab your god. Maybe you're running a demigod, but you're probably running an aura. Grab that, and then just flip it, and then just start drawing cards. So, CDH, Amanatu runs it. It's the new Amanatu. And, like, Modern even runs it with, like, Abs and Aggro. How many do they run of? Just... because it's a tutor, right? So... 3, yeah, because you tutor for something. You grab your new god. This is a new god, because... well, as long as, this card will continue to see more and more play as long as more and more gods get printed and more gods turn out to be good. Okay? Like, even, like, Selesnya aggro back then in 23. What were you grabbing? Well, this guy here is not a god. Were you just grabbing an aura then? Probably. Which aura were you grabbing? This aura. Cool, yeah. You can also use it to grab, like, all that's glitter. So, yeah. As long as they keep printing more auras, gods, and demigods, I don't think we're going to get any more demigods. But as long as we get more auras and gods, this card will get stronger and stronger. People will put it in their deck, because if they do pop it, they get a pretty decent card out of it anyway that can help turn the tides later on. So, good in control deck, honestly. Blue-white control deck that wants this, that'd be great. I like this card. I like it a lot. If you're running one of those cards and you need them, I'd put it in your deck. Thematically, I don't like tutors outside of thematics. Invasion of Gobakon. 1 and a white for a 3 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, look at target opponent's hand. Look at a target opponent's hand. You may exile a non-land card from it. For as long as that card remains exiled, and its owner may play it. A spell cast this way costs 2 more to cast. That's just a great 1v1. Just remove a problematic card. What happens when you flip it? You get Light Shield Array. It's an enchantment at the beginning of your end step. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature that attacked this turn. Sacrifice Light Shield Array. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until their turn. That's great. This has got to see play somewhere, right? Dual Commander, yeah, Dual Commander Legacy. This year, how many? 2, yep. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Do you have a way to just pop it? Okay, yeah, you could just Galvanic Charge, pop it. Because if you Galvanic Charge, pop it, even like Orzhov aggro's running it. How many? 2. Yep. Looks like people like running 2 of them. Because, yeah, that's 2 cards, early game, that just allows you to remove something, and 3 damage, that's a lightning bolt, or a shock. Boom. Now, in step, if you're aggressive and you're swinging with creatures, if you swing with 3 creatures, they all get 1/1 counters on it. And, on top of that, if someone tries to wipe, they go like, board wipe won't do anything, because you're just going to give yourself hexproof and indestructible. So, it just lets you win the game. You're like, yeah, I'm just going to lightning bolt that thing. And that's why it's like, when I looked, it was... What was it? It was Orzhov. Yeah, so did they have a way to deal damage to it? Yeah, like you could just fly into it to take it out. Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, this is not a bad card, and Dual Commander seems to love it too. Like, yeah, no, yep, that would be great. Because it's 1/1 counters, and the synergistic there, so... Yeah, I think this card's fantastic. Even if you don't ever flip it, it's great. But the fact that you can flip it so easily. This is what we're looking for in battles. Something like this. Something simple, interesting that it does. And then, boom, flip. Now, this mode, not great in Commander. Okay? I mean, you get knowledge of an opponent. That's not bad. Choose the opponent that's ahead, right? And then the flip is what you want. So in Commander, just pop that and you'll be good. So, Invasion of Chandalar. This is 3 and 2 green for 4 defense battle seeds. When it enters the battlefield, return up to 3 target permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, I mean, yeah, I guess. What's the flip? Leyline Surge, enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. That's good. Yeah, flip this guy and just start dropping stuff at your upkeep. Yeah, no, I didn't think it was going to see a lot of play. It doesn't do. Like, usually you just need 1 card back. 5 for 3 back is not a good rate, okay? No one wants that. The flip is the good part. So if they had just made this like 2 to put a permanent back from your graveyard to your hand, and then had everything else the same, it would be great. But the fact that it's sitting there at the 3, it's a great recursion spell casually. And then the flip, which you're going to get, because that's the whole point of this card, is helpful. Because then you can just start dropping permanents at your next upkeep. So, casually, I think this is great if you're playing big stompies. Invasion of Tarkir is 1 in a red for 4 defense battle siege. When Invasion of Tarkir enters the battlefield, reveal any number of dragon cards from your hand. When you do, Invasion of Tarkir deals X damage, X plus 2 damage to any other target, where X is the number of cards revealed this way. Oh, this can win you the game. For 2 mana. Just reveal 10 dragons. Well, no, you'd have to reveal too many dragons to win you the game that way. But, yep, red deck wins. Did you run dragons? Let me know. Did you run dragons? Yeah, you didn't run dragons. Coward. That was 25 still runs this. Yeah, was it? It was probably reprinted. No, it wasn't. Okay, I really forget what cards are still in Commander or still in Standard. Legacy ran this. Oh wow, man! Even this year, Legacy ran. Right? Yeah. 2003, 25. Yeah. March 20. One of. You got any dragons in here? No. So, like, why? Oh, I mean, okay, yeah, because Nethra Goyf, because, so, yeah. So, like, yeah, if you're running your Goyfs, then this card gets you another battle into the graveyard. It's not awful. I mean, I like this in a dragon deck. I wish we could make a dragon deck viable. Maybe in Pioneer that could be possible. Because the fun thing about this is, like, you could deal a lot of damage. Like, if you happen to, like, just deal, like, 2 damage minimum to your opponent's face. But if you had 4 dragons in hand, then it's, like, cool, more. What's its flip? You deal 5, it flips. You get a 4/4. You get Defiant Thundermaw. 4/4 dragon with flying and trample. When a dragon you control attacks, it deals 2 damage to any target. Oh, that's great. Yeah. If you're running a dragon deck in Commander, just put it in there. That's a great card in there. Just a great removal spell. Maybe even a player removal spell. Oh, yeah, we're up there. We got the last cards. This is top 6. So number 6 is Invasion of Amonkhet. 1, a blue and a black for 4 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, each player mills 3 cards. Then each player discards a card and you draw a card. Each opponent discards a card, you draw a card. So if you're running a mill deck, this is great. Just put it in your mill deck. This is just a great mill card. Early game, it draws you a card, it removes them. It does so much. Even if you're running like a opponent discard card deck, that's not bad. Lazotep Convert is 4/4 creature zombie. When it enters the battlefield, it is a copy of any creature card in a graveyard, except it's a 4/4 black zombie in addition to other types. That's great. Yep, I like this card altogether. I think I was looking for this card at one point for my mill deck, because milling them 3 each isn't awful. Plus the discard's not bad. It replaces itself, and eventually you get this like copy. But is it used anywhere? Standard. Dimir control. Sideboard? Sideboard. Oh, okay, that would make sense. Yeah, this is great. Even like Esper standard control. Sideboard? Main board? No, sideboard 1, yeah. The sideboard makes sense. If you happen to be going against like a self-mill deck or a deck that runs big creatures, being able to make a copy of that's very useful. But it's dependent on whether or not your opponent's actually running something good. Dimir Aggro ran it in standard back in 24. 2 of them, yeah. Because that's just like a great way to just remove stuff, get something big out, take it out, get another big guy out. That's a 4/4. What about Pioneer? What was it doing with that Dimir Aggro there? It's been used for a long time. Yeah, 4 of back then. Yep. Yeah, because aggressively forcing your opponents to mill, I think it was like something like, yeah, whenever the opponent has 8 or more cards in the graveyard, rogues you control, yeah. So it's like a great way to just make your opponent lose cards. Plus it has that upside of the transformation. Doesn't suck. And you're only going to transform it. Like, so it replaces itself. It mills your opponent's graveyard, which is congruent with a few side abilities and decks. It also replaces itself. And, like, you get this, like, 4/4 that you're not going to flip unless your opponent has something worth taking, right? In a graveyard, or if you have something good in your graveyard. So lots of good stuff to thank there. I think it's just doing a lot. But let's get to the top 5 here, guys. Top 5. Number 5 is Invasion of Kaldheim. 3 in a red for a 4 defense battle siege. When Invasion of Kaldheim enters the battlefield, exile all cards from your hand. Then draw that many cards until the end of your next turn. You may play the cards, exile this way. So it's the battlefield, exile the cards in your hand. So yeah, this is a great way to just go, I don't need these cards right now, let's exile them. And then just draw 4 cards, and then until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. So this is great, because this, you ditch your 4 cards, 4+ cards, or whatever. And then you get to draw 4 cards, and then you're like, cool, let's just play this card that I needed. I didn't need those cards right now, by the way. And cool, let's play a land, because I didn't get my land drop, and pass. And then next turn, you draw a card, you still have your hand, and it's until the end of your next turn. So your next turn comes, and you still have access to all those cards. That's very useful. What happens if I flip it? I get Pyre of the World Tree. Enchantment, discard a land card. Pyre of the World Tree deals 2 damage to any target. Whenever you discard a land card, exile the top card of the library, you play. Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. It gives you something to do. Like, okay, now you got too many lands. You don't need it anymore. Boom. Let's ditch my lands. Now they're just dealing 2 damage to creatures. Boom, 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 bang, bang, pow. I discarded a land card because that's what Pyre of the World Tree does. Cool. Not only did it 2 damage, I also get an extra card. Has this seen play out a commander? CDH, Rowan, Sign of War. Yep, that would do it. Yeah, because Rowan, whenever you, the spells you cast this turn that are black and or red cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you've lost this turn, activate only as a source, which is fine because, yeah, that's going to make this, this card will cost, like, you can make it cost 1 just to, like, get, like, more card advantage, which is great. How about outside of commander? Nope. Standard, tried it, but yeah, I think it's too expensive for outside of commander, but inside of commander, it's so easy. And Rowan makes it cheap enough to run as a CDH card. So I like seeing it in CDH. It's a great card. Like, it's great card advantage. It's just expensive at 4, right? But as, like, a commander card, yeah. Like, if you're looking for card advantage, that's great. And then if you're running a Lands Matters deck, this is a fun way to just boom. Or if you, like, if you're a person who plays, like, I run 33-ish lands in all my commander decks. I just, like, heavily mulligan down till I get a decent hand, usually. Because I think it's just a smarter way to play. That's just me. If you ever see any of my deck builds, you'll notice that I only run around like 33 to 35 lands. And the more decks I'm coming out with, because I've built these decks in advance, sorry and apologies for that. Some of them are a little outdated. It happens. I don't have time to make the deck that week. Usually I just make a lot of decks in advance. I think I have over 800 decks made now. I have a lot of decks made. But when you do that, you end up with this nice feeling of, cool, I have, like, not a lot of lands. And sometimes you get screwed, but a lot of times it works out if you just mulligan for a good hand. But if you're running 38 lands in your deck because you're like, I don't like to run out of lands, this gives you something to do with them in your deck. This just goes, keep drawing into lands. Oh, cool. Not only can I remove that problematic creature or ping someone in the face for 2, shock someone in the face, right? I also get to get an extra card, because whenever I discard a land, I get to exile the top card of my library, and I play that card this turn. So I think that's a great card. That's a fantastic card. I like it at number 5. Let's get to number 4. Invasion of Fiora. 4 and 2 black for a 4 defense saga. When it enters the battlefield, choose one or both. Destroy all legendary creatures, destroy all non-legendary creatures. So this is just a board wipe for 6. But the cool thing is if you're running a legendary deck, you can just not destroy your legendaries. Or if you're running a not, like if you, I don't have my commander out, boom, just goodbye legendaries. Or if you happen to be going against a legendary deck, that's kind of funny. What about 4? Okay, yeah, this, I wanted to build this card so bad. Marchesa Result Monarch is 3 and a 6, is a 3/6 legendary creature human noble with menace and death touch. When it attacks, remove all counters from up to 1 target permanent. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you haven't dealt combat damage since your last turn, or if you haven't been dealt combat damage since your last turn, you draw a card and lose a life. So as long as you're protecting yourself, you're preventing your opponents from, you're just drawing cards. So you protect yourself, you get a card at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life, and then that remove all counters from up to 1 target is such a funny ability. You're just like, oh, no. Goodbye, Planeswalker. You're just killing Planeswalkers. Marchesa's just like, nah, I'm the Monarch. No Planeswalkers allowed. Boom, 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 boom. And there's some funny combos you can do where you remove certain counters from certain cards to just be able to do more gross things. I like it. I enjoy it. I'd build it. And having a board wipe in your command zone would be hilarious. Boom, no field. Swing in. Boom. Here's my commander. So that'd be kind of funny. No one would let me play this one, though. The fact that it's a board wipe in your command zone would make people upset. And I'd just be like, get over yourself. But it has never been used. CDH. Yeah, Joda Unifier uses it. Yeah, that makes sense. And Dahada. Yeah, Dahada would use it. Because it doesn't hurt her. And Standard used it in, like, Rakdos Control. That's fine. Okay, cool. So, I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's a good board wipe with a good upside. So, only 4 to pop it is great. Invasion of Segovia. Let's talk it. 2 and a green, 2 and a blue for 4 battle, 4 defense. Man, I'm never going to learn how to speak English, guys. Help me out. Battle Siege. When Invasion of Segovia enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 blue Kraken creature tokens with trample. Right off the bat, token decks like this, you flip it. I mean, for 3 to get 2, that's fine, but 3 to get more is not awful. But here's the thing. You transform it, boom, you get a legendary creature that, again, I wish I could play. This is Kitus, Sea Tyrant of Segovia. This whole plane is just underwater, by the way. 3/3 legendary creature serpent. Non-creature spells you cast have Convoke, so your creatures can help cast it. So you tap your creatures to cast your non-creature spells. At the beginning of your end step, untap up to 4 target creatures. At the beginning of your end step, untap up to 4 target creatures. This, again, allows you to tap those creatures to cast your instants and sorceries. Your instances and your cards with flash. I so badly want to run this as a commander. Honestly, I'll probably do that, guys. I will make... Maybe I'll do it sooner rather than later. I'll do a video. Maybe I'll do a podcast, and I'll talk about these guys as commanders, all the legendary ones, and we'll see which ones are good. I'll mock up some decks for them even and show those off in a podcast. Maybe I'll do that next one. I'll do that. I've been trying to think about what to do my next one. I'll make some battles, and just see if I get them done by next week before I record this. You're seeing this now. It's going to be up on... I made this on Monday, so you'll see this on Wednesday. I believe I'm doing... No, podcasts are Tuesdays. Yeah, I'm doing this on Tuesday. So you'll see this tomorrow, which is today for you guys. So, yeah, I recorded this the day before because I have no sense of time management. But the following Tuesday, maybe I'll have those decks built. If I don't, then I'll do it the following Tuesday. But I'll try to make decks out of them, and just we can talk about the idea of running these guys as commanders. Would be kind of interesting. So, yeah, I'll do that. That sounds fun. How is this card outside of commander, though? Octavia? Come on. There we go. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, that would make sense. Instant sorcery creature... Oh, yeah, because you get 2 1/1s off of it, and or two 1/1s, and those 1/1s can become 8/8s. That's gross. Outside of that, standard blue-white tokens. Yeah, that would make sense, right? You'd run 4 of these, and then if you flip them, that's not bad. Your tokens can help cast big guys, but... Do you have a token doubler here? It's this guy, right? His toughness is equal to the number of non-land permanents you control. Yeah, that's why. Okay. That's fun. I enjoy that. Okay. Sissy Weatherlight Captain even ran this. Okay, +1/+1 for each color among other legendary permanents you control. I mean, it's not a legendary until it flips. Oh, it's 4 to pop, though. Can she just pop it? If she gets big enough, she could pop it, and then you get a legendary, and your legendaries can be tapped, and untapping them is pretty good. Yeah, I could see. This one actually might be flipped in that deck. I don't think it's played anymore. There was like one deck that happened to play it, so they wanted to test something out for fun. Let's go to number 2. Invasion of Zendikar. 3 and a green for 3 defense Battle Saga. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for 2 basic land cards. Put 1 to the battlefield, or put them into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. This is 4 for 2 lands. It's a ramp spell. Of course it's up high. It's a fine card. What happens when you deal 3 damage? You get a 4/4. You get Awakened Skyclave. A 4/4 elemental with vigilance and haste. As long as Awakened Skyclave is on the battlefield, it's a land in addition to the other types. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. So it's a land. That's not awful, like a 4/4 if you happen to pop it. But the point here is it's a ramp spell. That's also a battle. So... yeah. Oh, cool. Exceediates. Atali runs it. Though that makes sense. If you hit this card off Atali, that's 2 more cards, so that pays for its commander cast next turn. Galta runs it. That makes sense, too. And then standard, and yeah. 4 or 5 color standard would love this card, because it just... boom. You get 2 of your cards or colors you're missing. So, yeah, the 2 basic land cards is great. If you're running 3 or more colors, this is fantastic. This means that for just green, you can hit your land drops. And that's what's important. For just green, hitting your land drops is fantastic. And then, yeah, if you flip it, because, I mean, it's 3 damage to deal it, to get it, right? So if you flip it accidentally, you get a ramp spell. So, a ramp spell that has haste. So, like, I guess burn it? Because you want to tap? Oh, no, it has haste, so you can tap it the turn you flip it, right. So you can hit it, and then you can just tap it to use it to cast another spell. And the next turn, you can still swing with your 4/4 and still tap it. It's kind of cool. I don't mind it. It's interesting. So, and then last, but certainly not least, is your Invasion of Ikoria. It's the only battle that's honestly played. Like, these top 6 you might run into. Like, okay, yeah, you're running a mill deck, I get it. Okay, you needed some card advantage in red. You wanted an interesting board wipe in your legendary deck. Oh, you're running, like, an interesting, like, like a creature, non-creature deck, and this helps. That's cool. Oh, you want ramp? Sure, but like this is the card that's ran. Invasion of Ikoria, X and 2 green for 6 battle or 6 defense. See, even to the last card I messed up. 6 defense battle saga. When it enters the battlefield, search your library and or graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value extra less. Put it on the battlefield. If you search your library with this way, shuffle your library. Ooh, sorry for the pauses. My throat's hoarse, so I'm clearing it. Yeah, it's a tutor. 3 to grab a 1-drop. I mean, a 1-drop. If whatever you need, it's a tutor. And you can't counter it with, like, counter target, like with Swan Song, right? So that's good, but it can be countered other ways. It's good. It's just a good tutor card. It puts it on the battlefield. There's no limitation to the card type, or to the color type. A lot of the green ones say green only. This just says non-human. For the most part, you're not going to grab a human. If you are, if like a human creature is your combo piece, don't put this in the deck. Well, maybe it does. Maybe put in your deck if it's like a 2-card combo. So it's used in a lot of CDH decks. If you just need a creature for win con, this is just another way to get it. Let's say you deal 6 damage to it. You get Zilortha, Apex of Ikoria. This is an 8/8 dinosaur, legendary creature dinosaur with reach. For each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assign combat damage as though it wasn't blocked. This is a great way to just kind of like, if you can flip this the next turn, you're like, I win. Okay? This includes it. I'm just going to swing out. It doesn't matter if you have blockers. I've got enough damage to win the game here. Okay? I like it. I think it's interesting. This is just another one that I always wanted to build as like a mono green deck that just runs a lot of big stompy guys that don't worry about anything else, because like you'll like, oh yeah, I got a 6, boom, it's down, flip it. How did I get it on the field? Yeah, I'm like, I cast this card and I went and grabbed a big stompy guy, right? Yeah. And then that stompy guy, I gave haste and just hit this guy and then flipped. And here's my 8/8 dinosaur with reach. So yeah, I think this card's fun. I mean, I don't like tutors normally in Commander, so I don't run this card in Commander. But, like, again, this is another one that you just couldn't play as a Commander, because people would be like, you're tutoring as a Commander, that's not fair. It's like, what if I cast it for 0? And just grab Dryad Arbor? Would you be okay then? Would you be like, okay, yeah, I just want to play this guy as a Commander. So, like, could you let me? Please? So, I get it. Some people won't like it. Did ever see play outside of Commander? I mean, it's a tutor, but no, just CDH. Let's see. Let's go. What about standard? Standard. Okay, yeah, some standard back in 24. What about like? Let's go Pioneer. Pioneer. Okay, Devotion to Green ran it back in the day. Modern probably never ran this, right? Oh no, some Modern back in the day ran it. It's a tutor, right? If you're gonna grab a 1-drop with it, that's 3 mana to grab a 1-drop. That's not awful. But Legacy, some Legacies ran it. Okay, even like Dark Depths ran it once. What about like 1 or 2? 2, yeah, okay. And you're grabbing like a 2-drop or a 1-drop with it. Yeah, you're like grabbing Opposition Agent or you're grabbing Vampire Hex Mage with it. It's just another way to run more Vampire Hex Mages. Okay. And then I guess Vintage. I doubt it, right? Yeah, Vintage is too high power, but yeah, like it's a good tutor. it's not a bad tutor. I like it. I think it's interesting. So that's the cards. I guess in the end, this is a long podcast. Some of them will be shorter, hopefully. But let me know what you think about the battles. Like your honest opinion down there below in the doobly-doobly-doo. Let me know if you like them, if you dislike them, if you're like, yo, there's one battle that I liked and I put it in my deck. Do you just run them when you're like running those Tarmogoyf decks that just need like 5 or 4 more cards, like the Delirium decks, and you're like, I'll toss a few battles in there, try to get those milled into the graveyard to have it happen, right? It works in like I forget her name, the one that lets you cast different card types from your graveyard, permanent card types from your graveyard. This is another one you can get, so it works in there. Yeah, let me know what you think down below. Peace.